introduction to Power BI. Now, theoretical, we everyone know Power BI is a visualization tool where I can display the data into a graphical manner. Okay. Second thing is, can I capture the data in Power BI? No, I cannot capture the data from end user in the Power BI because Power BI is a visualization, not as a form or as a any web service. Okay, it's a web service, but not for the capturing the data. Okay, so in Power BI we have two things: Power BI desktop, Power BI services. Previously we have the Power BI servers as well, but servers I have never worked. And nowadays, since everything is going to cloud, the server is already removed in most of the organization. There are few organizations who are maintaining their own server, so they have the Power BI server as a post for them. Okay, generally in the market you have Power BI developer and Power BI admin, also Power BI server admin. There that was the previously. Okay, but nowadays generally they will have this Power BI developer who will handle the development as well as the admin part, because we don't have to worry about the servers now because those are hosted in the cloud. So server is taken care by Microsoft. Okay, now we'll keep discussing all that things that is required theoretical thing. Okay, so first let me introduce to Power BI desktop. Okay, those do not have Power BI desktop, please install at your system. This is for free, no license or nothing is required. Okay, so I'm just opening this Power BI desktop. Okay, so this is landing page where I can first I need to sign in. If I want to do sign in, I can do sign in. If I want to continue without doing sign in, that is also fine. Okay, but generally you should sign in so that whatever changes you are doing, it should get saved by default. By chance, let's say your system got shut down, maybe due to power failure or anything, whatever work you have done, it should not be lost. Okay, so please use sign in. You can just sign in with your account and then you can use it. Okay, now once we are here, I can see the home option and then open button. On the home option, I can get the options whether I can start with a blank report. I can start with One Lake Data Hub. This is again kind of data source. I can start with Excel workbook, SQL Server. I can start with any sample data, or you can just click on get data from some other source. Let's say SharePoint, Oracle, or anything which is not available here by default. Then we have option for sign in, options and settings. So these are some options which are available there that I will tell you when to use, where to use. Okay, so if I again go back to file. Okay, so these are the different options which are available, kind of settings. So data load, you can enable this type detection. So whenever you are loading the data, it will automatically detect everything, whether it's a number type, whether it's a date time, whether it's a only date, whether it's a text. So you can enable this always detect column type. Okay, detect column types and header for unstructured source according to each file setting. So these are some options where the headers can and their data types can be detected automatically. You don't have to do anything. Okay, then if there is anything you want to enable in the background, if you want to enable the data preview in the background, you can enable that. So these are the option for background data preview. If you want to enable the parallel loading of the tables, that you can enable from here. Parallel loading in the sense there are, let's say you have the 4 different tables. Okay, and they all are start loading parallelly. All 4 tables will start loading parallelly. There are sometimes you have to load one table each one by other. So that also you can define how many tables they can load parallelly, either 1 2 3 4, whatever number you want to give, that you can adjust the setting from here. Okay, then you can delete the data cache. Sometime it happens that file is not getting loaded properly, there is taking lot of time to load, or it's taking time to perform your action on the Power BI desktop. Now generally if this happens on the our browser, we go to browser setting and remove the cache, right? The same way you can remove the cache from this Power BI desktop. Okay, so right now I have currently 1.23 GB of cache. If I want to remove, I can remove those cache. Okay, if there's any question and answer, there is an option for that. If you have stored that, you can clear that as well. Okay, so these are the options related to uh, data load. Then if I go to Power Query, there are some default. These are some coming as a default, and you can play with the settings. Okay. Direct query, if you want to write, these are generally for the SAP related. Treat SAP HANA as relational source, so you can just connect direct query with this data source, which is not available directly. Okay. If you want to add R script, there are nowadays some people are writing R script, that you can enable from here, or you can install that R scripting from here. Okay. If you are writing a Python, if you're a Python coder, you want to run your Python coding or Python scripting, that you can use this option. If I go to settings, these are the some how you can protect your data. This is related to that. If you say require user approval for new native database queries, whenever you are connecting a new data source, whether that needs to be authenticated or not. So for that, we have this first option. Certificate related, whether you want to check for, let's say you're connecting to the website. Okay, you're directly pulling the data, let's say from the stock market NSE website. So for when we are connecting directly to any other source out of Microsoft, we need to check whether that site is uh, trusted or not. For that, we need some kind of certifications, right? So that part you can check here. Okay, whether it needs to be basic, comprehensive check, or you don't want to check that security thing. Depending on your option, you can select from here. Then when we are connecting with the website, web preview warning level, that you are connecting to the some web, whether you want to show some warning kind of thing, that you can check from here. Okay, so if you are selecting the strict, always display warning before a web preview. Moderate means display warning before showing the web preview if the URL has been entered explicitly or approved as a trusted. Okay, none means you are not worry about whatever the you don't want to show any warning or something for external data. Okay, these are options for external data only. Then data extensions, recommended one is allow only Microsoft certified and other trusted third party extensions to load. If you can don't want you want to allow something outside the Microsoft one, you can select not recommended one. Okay, allow, so they have not recommended, but you can use that allow extension to load without validation or warning. So you can use this option. It will allow you to add data from any source. Generally we keep it only allow from the Microsoft trusted. Okay, then custom visuals, if you want to add a security on the visual label, that you can do here. Then these are some options which are related to map and field visual. You want to use the map and field map visuals, just check this, check mark this thing. Okay, authentication, let's say if you're connecting, in my case, if I give example, I want to connect with the SharePoint. So sometime it happens that you can get authentication from the browser. Now if I want to, I can get authentication of the Microsoft, or you can get the authentication from the browser itself. So you can enable this authentication browser. Okay, and this approve ADS authentication service, you don't have any approver. Okay, so currently it is not required, so it is unchecked for me. Check at your case. If you need this, then it will prompt you to add some approver or authentication. Okay, then the privacy, these are same options for the privacy. Always combine data according to a privacy level. Again, in the privacy level, uh, everyone working in the organization, they know that you will get that options, right? When you're sending an email or when you're creating the document, you get the privacy level, whether you want to keep it organization level where everyone can access, whether you want to keep it private where only some selected people use. So those kind of tagging related things we have here under the privacy. Then regional setting, which let's say I'm building a solution for sitting in India, but I want to show all the data with respect to timestamp for US. So I can change the regional setting from here. What language I want to see. So if I want to change my entire Power BI for any other language, I can select that. So these are the options which are available. You can select the language and your entire Power BI will get converted to that language. Okay. These are the place where you will get some updates. You can whenever there is a update for Power BI, by default we get on the top only that update is available, but you can check from here as well. Okay, Usage data, this will just show you all the usage, whatever usage you have done, how to improve your Power BI things based on the, let's say some data is consuming more space, some consuming less space. So those kind of report you can get from here. Okay. Diagnostic, this will just enable, you can just collect the diagnostic thing, what version you are using, if you want to enable anything related to reports or query, if you want to diagnose whatever query you are doing, whether it's running properly or not, whether they required admin access or not. So that part of things you can enable from here. Then these are the some features which are in preview. There those, so one thing, remember, the preview feature can remain there in future or cannot be remain in there in future. So that can be, let's say today I have one future field parameter, but it is not 100% guarantee that after 1 month or after 1 year this parameter, this feature will be there. So that's why they call it as a preview feature. This is under the preview mode. Okay. Then save recovery, this option you can just turn it on by default. By mistake, if your file got closed, then when you will open the file, it will give you option to recover from the previous report, just like we are getting in Excel. Okay, so you can use this option for that. Report level setting, if you want to do something, you can select from here report setting. Copilot is a very important thing. So if we want to use the Copilot, I can enable from here Copilot preview. So select workspace capacity and permission to use. Okay, Copilot isn't available because you are not signed in. So currently I have not signed in, so I am not getting this Copilot option. Else it will give me the Copilot option. So everyone knows like what is the Copilot, right? In the, like, you can it will just help you to get the things done. Okay, now when we are saying the Copilot, many people, like I interact, they understood that it will do everything on your behalf. Let's say if I say, can you create a report for XYZ database by year and month? No, it will not do that. It will give you the steps to do that. Okay, it will just give you, okay, click here, click here, click here, and then you have to do that. So this Copilot thing is there to help you to complete your development. It is not going to complete the task for you. Okay, so don't get confused. Okay, I have the Copilot, it will do all for me. No, it will just give you the steps, just like in a chat GPT. If you go and search, okay, can you write a code for finding the factorial number, right? So it will give you the steps, it will give you the code. Now how to use that code in your real time environment, that is up to you. Okay, then here in the current file, whatever the options are there, so this global means which is available to everything. Once you apply here, it will going to get applied to all the Power BI reports that are there, that are running or using your Power BI. For the current file means whatever changes you will do, that will impact your current Power BI only. Okay, so again these are the same option, but these are related to your local file, the current file you are working. If you are making any changes on the global level, that will impact all the Power BI desktop application that you have built, whether it's a built in previously or built newly. It is going to impact all the options that you are going to select under the global, and whatever you will select on the current file, that will impact your current working file. Hope everyone clear with the options. Anyone have any question for this part? This is the theoretical one, not much. So, but still, if anyone have any question, please let me know.
So far, good, Rahul. Do you want us to make any settings in our desktop application?
No, 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 no. Keep with the default. Go with the default settings. Generally, we
Okay.
don't change them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now coming to this. Okay. So if you see, this is the auto recovery message that I am getting. So I don't want to recover anything from my previous one. So I will select no. Okay. If you don't want this kind of pop-up, you can go and disable that, but I will say keep that open. So by mistake, if something get closed, you will get that option to recover it. Okay, now this is our canvas, or this is the our playground where we are going to play with our data. Okay, so I will repeat again. As I said, we have seen in the previous session as well, whenever we want to do the data visualization, right, what we need first, we need a data first. Okay, data from any source, whichever source is there, any database. Then we have to perform transformation. When we are saying transformation, it means data cleansing. Okay, it means like whenever we are getting the data, there will be some dummy data, there will be some duplicate records. What I need to do, I need to perform the transformation on that. I have to clean the data so that when I'm generating my report, I should get a clean data. I should get clean record. There should be no duplicate value. Let's say some person who punch in the who did 8 hours of work, right? But if my Power BI is showing 16 hours, it means the data is wrong. Okay, it should show only 8 hours. It should match with your original data. Okay, so for that we have to do the data cleansing, and then last part will be the data visualization. So once we get the data in proper format, then I can create a chart or I can visualize that data. Okay, so to perform all this part here, this is our tool. Okay, now in this tool, first option is home, where you can just do copy paste those kind of option. Then we have this get data that will help me to connect with my data source. Okay, then we have this Excel workbook. I can connect directly. Either I go with the get data and click on Excel workbook, or I can click on Excel book directly. We have this one lake data hub. If anyone have worked on this part, they know better, like whatever data house or data warehouses are there, that you can use and connect here. SQL Server, we all know somewhere we have used. So if I want to connect with the SQL Server, I will click on the SQL Server. It will ask me the all the options. Let's say if I'm clicking here, it will be ask me the database name. It will ask me the server name. Again, when we are clicking on this, if you see, we are getting two options. One is import, one is direct query. Okay, now if I'm clicking on import, what will happen? It will bring the data on my Power BI, and then I will perform my queries. Okay, now if I'm using this approach, import approach, so this is okay, you have to listen carefully because this is the interview kind of question they generally ask. So option is why, whether I can use import or I can use direct query. What is the difference between them? If I'm connecting with the import, it means I will collect all the data locally to my Power BI, and then I will perform all the action, that is data transformation, data visualization, and everything. Now what will happen in this case, if I want to refresh my data, right? Let's say I imported data at 10 p.m. and at 12 p.m. I have to refresh the data. So what I need to do on the Power BI services, I have to go and perform some refresh. There we have to add some scheduled refresh, that this data will get refreshed every 10 minutes or every 30 minutes, every 40 minutes. Okay, so I have to turn that on. So this is not connected with the live data. Okay, so let's say your last data got refreshed at 10 p.m., but at 10:30 p.m. if we are seeing the data or visualization or chart, it means that it is showing you the data that was got refreshed or got added at 10 p.m. When you will use direct query, it means whenever once data got entered to the SQL, it will automatically get reflected to Power BI. Means live data. This direct queries connects with the live data. Import connects with the like local data. Once it will import to Power BI, then it will show you. Okay, direct query means once you change to that your source, it will get reflected to your Power BI. Clear with this part? Yes or no? With import and direct query. If I have any doubt, let me know. Please feel free. Okay, no one is saying anything. Now when we are connecting with the SQL servers, so sometime it happens they will provide you direct SQL table, they will provide you the database name, they will provide you the server name, and you can connect with the all the tables, and then you can do the visualization. But sometime what happens, let's say like I have faced one scenario. What they did, they created table, they're entering the data, but for the developers and other than admins, so they are the admins who are handling the data on the SQL server. For me, I'm the end user of the SQL, right? So what they did, they gave me a query, they didn't give me the table. Okay, they said we'll not give you the table, we'll give you the query that will combine the data from all the tables, and that you can use on the your Power BI. So indirectly they gave me query and they ease my work. Else what happen, I have to connect with all the tables and I have to add logic to get exact output. So what they did, the SQL team, they themselves created all the considering all the scenarios, they created a query that gives me only required data that I have to use for the visualization. Okay, so in that case, whatever query you have to run here SQL statement. This is not mandatory one. This is, you can if it is they have provided you, you can use it. If they do not provide, do not use it. Okay, you can just provide the server name and database name. You will get option to connect with the tables. Okay, but if you have the query that you are using, then use the SQL statement. Okay, this again we have the option to include relationship columns. If you have more than one table, then you can use this include relationship columns. If you don't want to use relationship columns, you can uncheck it. Okay, and then navigate using full hierarchy. If you want to enable that, you can enable. If you don't need, don't enable it. Okay, I'm just asking the repeating the question is, we are clear with this import and direct query? Are we clear with the SQL statement? Say yes or no.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so you have any other database apart from the one that is showing here? You can click
Yes.
on get data, then click on more. So once you click on more, you can now see all the data sources. So let's say if I want to connect with Oracle, just search for it. So we have the Oracle database. Let's say if I want to connect with ServiceNow. So we have the options that can connect it with the options with the service. So we have this common data services, Amazon OpenSearch service. So we don't have service now here, I think, if that is being called something. Yeah, so we do not have service now, but we have a lot of data sources that you can connect with. So you can check with all the data sources. So even we have IBM DB2, we have IBM Informix. So this DB2, I think that was getting used for uh, that framework thing, some older technology. I forget the name. I worked on that frame. What is called? I
Mainframe, right?
forget. Mainframe. Yeah, correct. So that kind of thing you can connect with here. So you can just search for that SAP for SAP HANA, SAP Business. So all the things are available here. So if it is something is not showing on the top, you can click on this get data and then click on more, and then you will get all the options which are available. Okay, so these are all
Okay.
certified connectors. So if you click on this certified connectors, maybe it show you something more. So it is taking you to the link. From there, you will get the information of all the connectors that are available for the Power BI. Okay, so this is some documents they have provided, and they have provided how to create a custom connector or kind of stuff. Okay, so you can enable that we have seen under the options. If you want to enable something which is not provided here, which is not certified one, then uncheck that, and then you will get option for that as well. Okay, hope that clear.
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Some spacing network issue.
And I hope you will run through on how to create gateway and all that. If I have.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay. So we have seen this option. Then this transform data. So once we load data, I will show you this transform data. And then we have this data source setting. So sometimes it happens while this mostly you will use when connecting with the online thing. So if you see in my case, I have some sources got connected. Those are for related to this are SharePoint. These are my SQL servers. So all the data sources that you have connected will show here. Okay, if I want to remove, let's say I don't want to use this www.fool.com, I can just click on edit permission. I can remove from here. If I want to check the current data sources on my this file, I don't have any data source right now. But if I go to the global one, so these are the global data sources which are connected to my Power BI. Somewhere I have used them. Okay. Then this new visual, these are related to once we'll add the data, I will show you. Then we have the Copilot option, which is available here. So this will require me to sign in. So we'll see this option also later. Okay. So for timing, I will just ignore this Copilot. Then if I go to insert, here we have the option to add a new page. Right now we have only one page. Either I can click here and add a page, or I can click here and add a page. Okay, so we are getting that option to add pages from here. I will just remove this. If I don't need, I have that option to delete from here, delete the page. If you want to create a duplicate page, either you get go here and create a duplicate page, or right click here and you get option to duplicate a page. Okay. Then this new visual, we have the same option on the home page and here as well. So I can click on new visual and then it will add a visual for me, and then I can connect with the data source and I can visualize my data. Okay, this Q&A, currently this is disabled because we do not have any source connected, any report generated. Once the report is built, we'll get this Q&A option enabled. So using Q&A, I can build more reports. So or I can ask the question, I can make it interactive. So if I go here and I just want to play with that, I want to ask the question, which region has the highest sale? So from this selected or whatever visualization available, it will filter out the data and it will show me, okay, this region has the highest sale. Okay. Then these are the key influencers. This is again type of chart that will give you the key influencer. Let's say uh, salesperson 1 has the more sale than salesperson B and more sales than salesperson C. So salesperson is the influencer. He is the person who is the leading the sales. What can be other influences, like let's say uh, some offers are giving. Okay, so let's say 50% discount is the highest influencer that helps me to sell my product. Okay, so those kind of things can be come inside under the skin. So this is again type of chart. So based on your report that you are building, you can select the type of chart. Okay, then this paginated report, if you want to create a report that will get paginated, like page 1, page 2, page 3 kind of thing, that you can do using this paginated report. Okay, so we can create a paginated. Once we create a report, then we can connect and create a we can connect the pages. So instead of using this pages, page 1 to page 3, we can directly use this paginated report to connect them together by using some navigation button or something. Okay, then we have the text boxes. We can use the text box to just display some message. Let's say if I want to display here, so currently we don't have data, so it will not allow, but yeah, once you get the data, you can add the things. Okay, then we have some buttons that will help you to navigate between the different pages that you can use. Then we have some shapes that you can use, and then images. If you want to insert some image here, that you can use using the image. Okay, let's say organization logo or something kind of stuff. Then if you go to the modeling, currently these options are disabled. So let me connect with the data source so that all options will be visible for us. Okay. So now what I will do, I will connect with my data source that is saved locally. So for today, I will use the same data source that we used last time, the sales data. Okay. So I have to sales data. Yeah. So we have the sales data by we have order ID, region, manager, salesman, items, unit price, and sales amount. Okay. So I have this. I will connect with this data source. Okay. I have one more thing. Yeah, that's fine. So now what I need to do, I need to connect with Excel workbook. So I can click on this Excel, and then I can go and select the sales data. Okay. Now if you see, we are getting my two workbook. Currently in my Excel file, I have not created any table. I kept raw data there. Okay. So whenever we do not have a table, it will show me the workbooks. If I have a table like this one, there is a one table, I think. So then I can either select a table or I can select a what we call a workbook. Okay, so let's go and select the table instead. Okay, so in the table we not have much data, so I will select my this data, that is sales data. Okay, so you can see there we have the preview. This is called as the preview. If you don't want to this preview to show here, then again you can go to option and you can disable from there. Okay, now if you say this is preview downloaded on Saturday, September 21, 2024. This why it is showing this message, because in the last session we connected with the same data source. Okay, so that's why it is showing me the preview of that last date. So if I do refresh and refresh here as well, I think it will show you that old data only, old preview. That is not old. Okay, so now it is showing me today's. Once I refresh both the side, it will now next time when I will try to open the file, then it will show preview. Preview happened on 28th of September. Okay, now from here, either I can load the data directly or I can transform the data. Now if I load the data, it will just automatically create table header and everything, and it will load. But what I will do, I will go to transform the data, because many times it will happen you will have a raw data. Like Satish asked, if there are some columns that I don't need to needed in my visualization, can I remove that? Yes. So you have to come here under this transformation part, also called as a Power BI editor. Okay, so where we are doing the transformation under Power BI editor. Now if you see, I am getting this null values at the bottom. Okay, I don't want this null values to be appear on my system, on my visualization. So I will just simply go to order date, and from here I will uncheck the null. So what will happen now, it will apply a filter and it will give me only the data that is having some value. Okay, there are some date values. Then we have the region column, manager sales, and these are already shorted, so we don't need to do anything. But in case if you see these are not short, not, let's say this is showing as alphanumeric, this is showing as something else. It is not automatically recognizing it, right? So for that we have option for the transformation. So we'll go to the transformation, and from here I can change the data type. So let's say this order date, I want to convert this into date and time. So I will just make it date and time. Okay, so it will just add whatever time is, since there is no time, it will by default add that 12:00 hours. Okay, I don't want this to be a date and time. I want to keep it as it is. So I want to undo my previous step. You have to just remove the steps from here. So if I say this is said applied steps. Okay, just okay. So before going to that, let's see one more, all the options. So once I click on close and apply, it will load my table to my Power BI desktop from the editor queries, from and that visualization where I can create all the reports. So this is that option for that. Then if I want to add one more source, let's say I have imported data from Excel. Now I realize, okay, I miss some data from some other source. Then I can click on this new source, and then I can connect with the new data. Okay, this recent resources, it will show me all the recent activities that I have used to connect with my data source. Okay, then we have this enter data manually. If you want to make some changes to the data, if you want to add some row, then you can go with this enter data. If I select this, it will allow me to create a new column where I can add a data. Okay, generally we do not use this option, but yeah, in some scenario if you need, you can use this option. Okay. Then we have the data source settings. This is again similar one that I have explained previously. So it is showing me the current data source that I have connected, which is my local data source. If I go to the global one, it will show me all the global that I have connected previously. Then we have this refresh preview. So as I said, like when you are working locally, you have to manually do the refresh. But once you publish your report, then you can schedule it so that end user will get fresh data. Okay, then we have some properties option here. The what is the file name, what are, or you can, if you want to change that data table name or anything, that you can do from here using this properties. Then we have this advanced editor. Advanced editor is, I will show you, this is the where whatever the steps you are adding now, those are getting added here, applied steps. Okay, so advanced query editor, and this is called as the M language. Okay, so Power BI, again this is a kind of question that may ask. So Power BI uses M query and tax. Okay, so right now this one that you are seeing, this is called as the M query. Okay, now if you see, if you try to read this M query, what it says, first it says source. So what was my source? It was excel.workbook, that is we are connected with the Excel, and this is my source. Okay, so we are getting the file content from this file. Okay, so it has this part, it generated automatically, so you don't have to write this part. If you are using with the blank query, you can write, but generally once you connect with the data source, till this part system will auto generate. Okay, now if you remember, when we went to the options, there we have enable detection of data type. Okay, so all my headers there got detected, and also in my table we do not have any headers, right? When I connected with my Excel file, I connected with the workbook, not with the table. So what happened there, we do not have a header, so system automatically promoted the first row as a header. Okay, then it changed the type. So these are all the actions performed automatically till this part. Okay, then we applied one step where we have removed the null value, so that part got added here. Okay, so if I say you what is the syntax for the M query, so if we see here, what you say, it first starts with the let. It will say let step 1, step 2, step 3. I will say step n, and then it will say the last. Once your last step will be your here, it will be step n. So whatever the last step will be, that is going to be the last part of or last line of your code. So always M query start with let, then it will show you your data source. So if I want to add a source here, source equal to, now if it is Excel, I'm just adding Excel, whatever code is there, then it will generate some steps. Okay, now in our case, our actual code starts from here, change promoted header. Now if you see here, if you observe, this was my previous step where it promoted my tables or my workbook first row as a header. Okay, now if you see the second step where it changed the type, what was the, what it did, it just auto detected the column types, whether it's a date type, region type, text type, or whatever the type is. Okay, here if you say, it is provide giving you the step of previous, name of the previous step. Okay, so change type is equal to table dot transform column type. So this transform column type is actually a function. So inside this function, first we are giving the reference of previous step. Okay, and then we are passing our entire code here. If you see again in the next row, what we perform the filtered data. We applied some filtration, and then table dot selected row. Again, it is giving me the name of the previous, and then whatever action I have performed. Let's say if I want to add a new filter. So if I type again here manually, so it needs to be in double quote, filter rows. Now since we already have a filter rows above, it will not allow me to create a new step with the same name. Okay, so I'm just adding filtered row. Again, I will say equals to, spellings are correct. Yeah. So now if I say table, I want to perform the action on table dot selected rows. So from the selected rows, now I have to give the reference of my previous step. That I will copy and I will paste here, and I will say each, and then right now what we have done, we have applied filter on order ID, sorry, order date. If order date is not equal to null, if I want to perform the same on some other column, then I have to pass the column name on whatever action I want to perform. Okay, generally this M code is auto generated, system generated, so you don't have to worry about. But why I'm explaining this, so you should understand what you are doing. Whatever steps we are performing, we should understand whatever thing I'm doing here, how it looks like on the code level. Okay, so whatever steps we are providing here, that will show me what I have shown you here under the advanced properties. Clear? Anyone have any doubt with this M code? Please let me know if you want me to repeat this. You should understand the syntax. We know we
So,
do not
so
have to
far,
write the code. Yeah, go ahead.